Dokie. Hi, welcome to my channel, Takoyaki Tarot. Today is February 4th, Saturday, 2023 at 10:21 a.m. Hold on. All right. All right, I'm back. So, yeah, let's see. I want to let everyone know that's watching that these messages are not going to resonate with everyone, and that's okay. If they resonate with you and gives you clarity, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. Don't force it to be your story. Don't try to make it fit if you do not belong, because these messages are not one size fits all. All right. Now I will start with my prayer of protection. I pray to God and call upon Archangel Michael and any ancestors, angels, and spirits of the highest white light that love me unconditionally to continue to protect me and my family during this time. Please help us see things clearly and to help us remove the fog of illusion that has led us on a false path in the past. Amen. All right, so where do I begin? I'm gonna start off with all right, so I had a dream last night, right? And it was taking place in one of my old childhood bedrooms. And this childhood bedroom of mine was very significant for a specific reason. All right, in my childhood. I'm not really gonna get into all of that, why it was like important or like significant or special or whatever the case may be, but it was. Um, but I was with about. There was actually a lot of things going on in this dream, and I don't even know where to begin, to be honest with you, because now I'm remembering a lot more than what I originally wanted to talk about. So I'll just basically just if it comes up in another video, then I'll talk about it because it's like a layered dream. All right, there was what was going on inside the bedroom, what was going outside of the bedroom, but in the home, and then what was going on outside of the bedroom, like outside of the home, right? But the bedroom was like in the middle. So, anyways, I was with a group of girls, I guess friends. I don't know. I was with a group of in the dream they were like friends. All right. There were maybe I have something on my neck that hurts. Oh, never mind. There were like maybe two thin girls that were my friends, and then there were two other girls that were. One was bigger, and then there was an even heavier set girl. And out of one of the heavyset girls, like I don't know, I don't even know, to be honest with you, I don't even know why she was in the dream, right? I ended up kicking her out of the dream, but I have a reason for that, right? So, and anyways, because of what was going on outside of the bedroom door, I was like, oh, you know what? We can get out of this, but we're gonna have to go through the window. So let me open up the window, right? La 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 la, and then we can get out. So I opened the window, and one by one, I'm helping them get out of the window to avoid what was going on the outside, on the other side of the window, which would be, I don't know, a hallway that would lead into like a dining room or like some staircase. I don't know. Anyways, so I get them all out, and they're all out, and one of the heavier set girls. And okay, so if you get offended that I'm using that term, I don't know, like compared to me, like, you know, I don't even know, like, I'm short, so everyone's tall to me, okay? So I was I was trying to tell her something. Something like I don't know what I was saying to her. I forgot what it was, but she was like looking at me and like she wouldn't even respond. And I thought that was like really weird that she wasn't talking to me at all. And then she had like this attitude about her. Like I could just immediately, as soon as she looked at me, I just knew. And everything I knew, I'm like, she doesn't like me. I just knew. Right. And then as soon as, it's so funny because it was kind of like boom, 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 boom. Like as soon as like everything started happening faster and faster. So like I'm like, okay, she doesn't like me. And then once I realized like, oh, she doesn't like me, I'm like, why am I hanging out with her? Why is she here? Right? Like, why are you here if you don't like me? I'm not hanging out with you anymore. So there was like about four girls, and one of the thinner girls was a friend of mine. And I went to her. I'm like, why is so and so here if so and so doesn't like me? Like, what's the point of them being here if they don't like me? And I don't know what she said, but I feel like the way she was like, um, it was the way she was like coming across, like, how do I put this? Okay, so you ever see like in cartoons or something, and like ants, they point to their antlers and they start shaking to feel something around them. So she wasn't really talking to me in the dream. She was just like vibrating a certain way, and the way she was vibrating let me know like that she was like kind of like making excuses for the original girl, that I was like, oh, I know you don't like me, so what are you doing here? Why are you here? You got to go at 6:46. So I went to tell the one girl, and it was weird because the one girl, she was carrying me on her back, and I remember talking to her. I was like, why is so and so here? So and so doesn't like me. Why are we hanging out with her? Why is she here? Why am I hanging out with her? Why is she in my dream? And she was just like vibrating, and it was like her response was like she was just making excuses for her, like it's okay, it's not a problem, la 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 la. And something was telling me, I'm like, just ill. Just like her response was just ill. Like, you're making excuses for somebody who doesn't like me and is just like so okay with not liking me. Like, first of all, in real life, if you don't like me, you don't like me. It's whatever, right? But in the dream, I'm like, why are you in my dream if you don't like me? And on top of that, why is somebody else making excuses for that person, making it seem like it's okay for them to be in my dream? It's my dream. Why are you here? Um, so I thought that was really weird that this person was like making excuses for this other person. And then we were laying in the grass. It was a beautiful sunny day, and we were laying in the grass. And the one that was making excuses for the other girl, she had it's like really like it's gonna be really gross. She had lifted her arm, and in her armpit, I kid you not, it was like I don't know, she had something wrong with her armpit. There was like an abscess, or like the skin was peeling, and it was just like it was like a wound. Oh my god. I talked about this something like this before. It was if you go on Hulu, if you have Hulu, there's a movie called Wounds, right? And this man, la 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 la, I'm not even gonna talk about the movie, right? It's a really good movie though if you know how to watch it. It's interesting. This man, he had a wound in his armpit, and basically the whole movie is about him being an empty vessel, which allowed certain events to happen and take place in the movie, right? And when I woke up, I immediately started getting a bunch of these phrases in my head, but I'll talk about that in a second. So she had like this nasty ass wound or cut in her armpit. And so I was looking at that and I was like, yo, that's really nasty. And I got the feeling that she wanted me to pick at her wound, to pick at like, it was really gross, right? And she wanted me to pick at it. And like the skin was like peeling. It was really nasty. But anyway, so I woke up, and the first thing that came into my head, because I was questioning, because like I said, in my dream, I'm like, why is she like ill? Why is she making excuses for this other girl who does not like me, still wants to be around me, still wants to hang out with me, like still wants to be in my dreams. So I kind of like kicked her out, and I was telling the other, I'm like, why am I hanging out with her? Why are we hanging out with her? Why is she here? Right? But anyways, I just repeated that again. Sorry. I woke up and the first phrase that came into my head was, "She's an open vessel," or no, she's an empty vessel. She's an empty vessel. That's why she had the wound in her armpit. So let me backtrack a little bit. All right. So the movie Wound, it's on Hulu. It's got Army Hammer and like Dakota Johnson, I think it is. Very interesting movie. Okay. So basically, I talked about this before. The guy, he's the main character. Army Hammer, he plays the main character, and la 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 la. Basically, there's there's like a lot in my head right now. So give me a second. I'm trying to figure out how to like organize everything. The person in my dream was basically, in a sense, a people pleaser and would make excuses for even the worst kinds of people. And despite the fact that it was actually harming them physically, harming their body, eating away at them. Because, like I said, the wound on her armpit in my dream, it actually looked like it was very, very bloody, like it was a fresh wound. Oh my god, it was a fresh flesh wound, right? It was, but it had been there for a while because it was like kind of deep, but it also at the same time it was like freshly forming. So essentially, this is like a people pleaser, and when they, go, they make excuses for really toxic and negative people. It like literally eats away at them. But I don't even think that they see it, right? They literally can't see it. But when she opened up her arm, because she was just like laying back in the grass, she had her arms up, and I could see it. And in my head, I'm like, that's not good. She didn't react to it at all. It's like she didn't see it was there, but even if she did know that it was there, she wasn't gonna say anything about it. She would just make an excuse about her wound. So this is somebody who lives life making excuses. So in the movie, this is why it kind of ties in, because in the movie, Army Hammer's character, right? He has his own business. He has a home. He has a significant other, but he's just like not. It's kind of like he's just living life on autopilot. It's like he's not really happy, but he's also not really unhappy. Like he's kind of like, I don't know, like he's just. And then there's also like a third party who's like trying to live her life, and Army Hammer is trying to like latch on to how things were with her, despite the fact that he still has like a pretty good life now. So it's kind of like his character was lost, and the person in my dream, she was essentially lost because of how much she was trying to play the nice person, right? So that's kind of like the sad part about it, because this person has been trying to be the nice person for so long that it's kind of like they openly became oblivious to all the bad things around them and all the toxicity and all the negativity, and not realizing that they were just like okaying it. All right. And all the okays that they were giving to all these people, it was just like, if you're okaying something toxic and negative, you can't just okay it and then, think that everything's okay. If you're okay, if you know something's wrong and you're okaying it, that's going to have to, not that it has to, but it latches onto you as well. And it creates wounds into you, because it's kind of like you're openly knowing about a wrong and you're not doing it. It's kind of like shame and guilt, but not necessarily, because it's kind of like you're seeing things that are wrong and you're actively letting it happen. I'm trying to figure out like the proper way to put this. I might not even post this video, honestly, because of how in depth it has to be. So it's kind of like she's an ally to the negativity that she's witnessing. And because she's kind of like an ally, because you can't be like, oh, you can't make excuses for it and then think that you're not doing anything wrong. All right. If you're seeing negativity, toxicity, evilness, if you're seeing it and then you're making excuses for it while allowing it to happen, you become an ally, right? Because you're choosing not to wrong the right. You're choosing not to make things better. You're choosing to just let it happen and let it fester and, multiply and yada, yada, yada. So she became an ally to it. That toxicity and that negativity, it's also latching onto her and creating open wounds inside of her, right? And a lot of that has to do because she doesn't even know how to stand up for, I don't know, it's got to it's there's like she doesn't know how to set boundaries in her life. And because she doesn't know how to set boundaries in her life, she allows these toxic things to attach to her, and then she ends up becoming an open vessel. So that's that. I feel like that was really the longest way I could have ever come up with to basically get to that point. That was like a huge runaround. But I feel like this person, they like to do a runaround with life. Like it's like life is so they're here and life is telling them all you have to do is just go straight across and you're good. Just go straight across and you're good. But this person, they'll go all the way around, multiple times at that, and then, you know, get to there. But the thing is, they don't ever really get to there because while they're choosing to take the longest route, they come into complications and they lose sense of their boundaries, they lose sense of their purpose, they lose sense of their goal, they lose sense of who they are, they make excuses, they start vibrating different. I tell you, and the way she was communicating with me, it was like she was like like buzzing, right? And her buzzes, it was kind of like, no, it's okay, it's like she was like legit making excuses for someone else's evilness, and it's just like, where do your morals stand? When is it enough for you? When do you realize that this is not good? Not just because of me or your friends or your environment, but for you. And I think that's the problem with that person in the dream. She doesn't really know when it's enough for her, or boundaries or lines or whatever the case may be, because it literally started to physically fester on her. So that was that dream. That's too low. That was that dream. And as long as that was, I don't think I'm going to talk about the other dream as to the reason why we were already like leaving the window, going through the window, because that's a whole nother thing. And all right, but I just wanted to talk about that dream. Damn, 1818, and get that out of the way. So when I woke up this morning, the first thing that, like I said, the first phrase that popped into my head was, "She's an open vessel." Be careful what people. I guess everybody really, but the collective. Be careful of what you allow in your life when it comes to your boundaries. All right, because what you may not see as a big deal, deep inside of you, it could literally be eating away at you. All right. And in the dream, it took a physical form on her body. All right. And that may not always be the case, but sure enough, it will take some sort of form on your soul. And, you know, if your soul is, just be careful, man, because the reason why people are empty vessels is because they have no soul. They lost sense of, and I think it's not, for some people, it's not even that they don't have a soul. It's that their soul has been pushed to the side to make way for something else. All right. And the only way their soul gets pushed to the side is when they stop getting in tune with their self, their sense of happiness, sense of self worth, your purpose, um, connecting with the divine, noticing what's right and wrong, taking action, being active, being courageous. That's a thing. This person doesn't have a sense of it's like they don't have a courageous bone in their body. All right. Um that's one of the reasons, that's like the main reason why this person in my dream, they just let things happen. Like, oh no, it's okay, it's okay. Like they just let these bad things happen because they're not courageous enough to stand up to wrong or right. So it's like Courage the Cowardly Lion, except this person, like, I don't know. Some people just they don't want to find a heart because it's a lot of work. So they would rather just deal with the wounds inside their body and just keep living life. Like, ignorance is bliss, but at a point, it's like you're not ignorant to it. You're just choosing to live that way because for some reason it's easier for you. I'm gonna get 4. So the girl in my dream, the one that did not like me, I was trying to talk to her, and she was like, I don't know, she just didn't like me. I don't know why, but really, it wasn't even like, you know, not to be that person, but in my dream, I'm like, I'm trying to help you get out this window. Like, why are you being so like mean to me for? And the person in my the person in my dream, the heavier set girl, once I realized that she just really doesn't like me, I was like basically talking to the girl that was carrying me on her back. And also the one that was carrying me on her back, she made it seem like just because she was carrying me on her back that basically part of the excuses were like just because she was carrying me on her back, like it's okay. It doesn't matter that so and so likes you, so you don't even have to worry about when they're around you. And my whole thing was, why do they even have to be around me at all? And she was making it 22-33, and she was making it seem like, well, it's okay because I'm carrying you on my back. Like, don't even worry about it. It's okay. Like, you know, if she's around you, it's fine. But in my mind, I'm like, but why does she even have to be around me? And she was kind of like, again, going around, like beating around the bush to like my direct questions. And instead of answering my direct questions, she was just making excuses for the other person. And I'm telling you, that wound in her armpit, it was just looking nastier and nastier. And I'm just like, but why is she even here? Why does she have to be here? Right? Also, this person, she's making excuses for the one in my dream. Okay, so you may have two people. One person that is just like way too friendly and kind to like the whole world, even to like the mean people. And you're wondering, like, why are you still nice to them if you know that this person is not a good person, right? And then you have another person who you know does not like you. And you're like, but why are you in my space if you don't like me? Like, why are you around me if you don't like me? Right? There's a reason for that. Boom. So the person that is around you that does not like you, because I'm like, if you don't like me, get out my dream. Like, get out. So that person is spiritually blocked. And a lot of that has to do because of their own childhood traumas that they have not dealt with, that they have not healed. But not just the person that doesn't like you, the person that is like way over the top of a people pleaser, they also have childhood traumas that is I don't want to say allows them, but it's kind of like made them an open gateway to be like this massive person of a people pleaser to where they can't even wrong rights. They're not courageous enough to stand up for what's right. And that's because of their childhood traumas. Whatever happened in their childhood, where they have to always be walking on eggshells around the people that's close to them. Something happened in that one's childhood where they think that if they're just nice to everyone, it'll keep the peace. Everything will be fine. It's like they're terrified of confrontation. The other one, because of her childhood traumas, it's kind of like she will still hang out with somebody who she doesn't even like, But I'm gonna get to the reason why that is. It's because she's seen people hang out with people they don't like because, like, I don't know, the way she grew up or her friends or whatever the case may be. It's the way, just because in her mind it's like, just because I don't like you, I'm still gonna hang out with you because I want something from you, right? Attacking your sacral chakra and attacking your solar plexus chakra. This person, so never mind the other one for right now, the one who does the people pleaser, never mind the people pleaser. All right, so with the one that doesn't like you but it was still hanging around you, they're only hanging around you because they're spiritually blocked, right? So they can't manifest. So here's the thing. Attacking your solar plexus chakra, when it is when it's unbalanced, you're gassy, nauseous, you have respiratory problems like asthma, you have nerve pain and poor digestion, right? But when it's balanced, you come into your personal power, your intellectual abilities, you're able to convey wisdom and generate ideas and plans into reality. And this is also how you manifest. This person can't do that. Their solar plexus is unblocked right now, spiritually blocked as well. They can't manifest. They could also be having a lot of poor indigestion. So this is one of the reasons why they were hanging out with you, because you know how to, oh shit, you know how to open windows, remove the screens, and get out of them. Because in my dream, I was like, all right, well, we gotta go. We can't be in this house anymore. We can't be in this room anymore. We all gotta go. But nobody knew how to get out the room. It was like everyone was just like standing there, and I'm just like, all right, well, I know how to get out of this room. I gotta open this window. I gotta remove the screen. And now all of you, be careful. You gotta jump out the window, but line up one by one. Be careful. Jump out like this. La 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 la. Right? And the person looked at me, and I was just like, yo, you don't like me? Like, I just told you how to get out this room. You don't like me? Attacking your sacral chakra. So when it's unbalanced, a lot of guilt, allergies, eating disorders, sexual issues, and irresponsible. But when it is balanced, you're very joyful in life, you're very fertile, you have a healthy pleasure life, and you're patient and creative. This person, they can't wait for the life of them. It's really, when it comes to this person, they don't want to wait, right? Just show me how to get out of the window so then I can go. And I showed them how to get out the window, and I was like, okay, so you don't like me, so you don't have to be here, bye. And I kicked them out. So this person is only hanging around with you because you're spiritually blocked, and they can't manifest anything, they can't cultivate anything, they can't bring anything into fruition. They have a lack of ideas, or they come to you for ideas, or they can't come up with ideas on their own. They like how smart you are, so they like to ask you for advice on like how to do this or how to do that or how to say this or how to say that. And that's the only reason why they were around you, because they don't have what you have. And it was like, so I don't have this, but I don't like this person, so I'm just gonna hang out with them so I can get some of what they have. This person, like I said, they also have a lot of childhood traumas. I don't feel like they have a healthy they don't have an example of what a healthy relationship is, which is why they too felt comfortable hanging out with someone that they don't even like just to get something that they want. So this something they've also witnessed that growing up, like, just because you don't like somebody, you can still hang out with them or be around them just to get what you need or just to get what you want, right? That's not healthy. That's not good. So you have someone who is essentially like the Five of Swords. They'll do anything to get what they want. And then you have someone who is in the Five of Pentacles, who they'll people please to the point where they themselves are left out in the cold, dealing with like the cold, harsh winter air. Damn, man. 30 minutes and only 4 cards out? Ain't that something? Alright, let me get a couple more. I still have time. For the most part, though, I feel like collective, you are very balanced in your solar plexus and your sacral chakra. Yeah. Yeah, that's so funny. Spiritually fertile. Yeah. You guys are balanced. You guys are manifesting out the butt. It's like, let me stop. You guys are manifesting like crazy. And this person, you're spiritually fertile, this person's spiritually blocked. Here's the thing too, with childhood traumas, they everybody has okay, not everybody, but I feel like you collective also have some childhood traumas, but you healed from it and you use that to your advantage. And I don't mean like in a narcissistic, evil empire kind of way. I mean it in a way where you understood your childhood traumas and you kind of like saw the ins and out of what it was and then healed from it and fixed it. This person, they're still stuck in the mindset of like, this happened to me, so this is how I react now, right? It's not even that this happened to me, it's just that they're stuck in the way they react is caused by their childhood traumas, and they can't see that. That's how they react and they respond into the world. And because of that, it's like they themselves are blocking themselves. You saw what was blocking you, it was your childhood traumas. So you healed from that, you fixed that. They can't see what's blocking them. It's their childhood traumas. So because they can't see what's blocking them, they don't even like, they would there's way more, like, you gotta give me a minute, hold on. They don't even, they're spiritually blocked, and instead of seeing what's blocking them, they would rather just hang out with people who have what they want or what they need or what they never had. And despite the fact that whether or not they like the person is irrelevant. Oh, you have what I want, you have what I need. Let me make friends with you, let me hang out with you. Seven, 7, luck. Wonderful things are about to happen. Yeah, you guys are super lucky. Well, I mean, that's another thing too. This person that doesn't like you but still wants to hang out with you, they just see you as somebody who's lucky. But the only reason why you're in this energy is because you're balanced out. You've balanced out yourself. We have Taurus, Earth. This could be, first of all, let me say, you could be a Taurus, or this could be a Taurus, or an Earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Unfortunately to say, a lot of this has to do with father childhood traumas. So everybody has on this board, everybody has childhood traumas from their father. Either from an absent father, from a lack of father guidance, from enabling fathers, from a father who just wasn't active enough, or overbearing, or too protective, or not protective enough. Whatever the case may be, the common denominator here is daddy issues, right? The only thing that's different is that you healed from your daddy issues and this person still has not. Damn. The person with the wound on their armpit as well. You know what's funny too? I mean, it's not really funny, but in the movie Wounds, the guy, his wound was also in his armpit as well. I'm telling you, you gotta watch that movie. Like, it's really, it takes the stomach to watch certain things like that, and it's also a psycho horror. If you don't know what that is, it's basically horror movies that like you really gotta think about shit, and it messes with your mind. You gotta like psychoanalyze shit. La 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 la. It's really interesting, right? I like movies like that. So we have the letter. Oh yeah. The reason why I said that is because the girl in my dream, the people pleaser, she also had the wound at her armpit as well. But it looked different. We have the letter TK. Could be somebody's first, last, middle initials, either TK or KT. Could be the name of a word or a place, but I feel like this goes under Taurus childhood traumas TK. Tying knot. Tying knot. Like tying a knot. Okay, now I'm seeing like a knot being tied. So someone was hoping that when it came to someone, this is really sad. I feel like everybody's father, whoever, like I said, everybody on the board has father issues, right? The saddest thing about this is that the fathers that failed these girls, they're women now. Or, you know, the collective could be a man or woman, take it how it resonates, or this person, I'm getting really, really dizzy. Or this person could be a man or woman, you know, maybe there's a man in your life that doesn't like you but hangs out with you anyways, but there's a father. Whoever you are, this father, these fathers, they know that they failed their children. They know that they failed their children. And what's even sadder is that these fathers, like, they know that they failed their children, but at the same time, it's kind of like, with the whole tying knots thing, it's kind of like, are these knots that I myself tied going to hold my children back? For some of you, it did not hold you back. For some of you, you untied the knots that were causing blockages, causing you to be unbalanced. You just untied those knots. And for others, karmics, strangers, those knots are still there within them. And instead of untying them, these people are just pulling the string, trying to untie it like that, versus taking the time to actually go within the knot and untying it. There is a book that I read as a kid in school, and it was called Maniac McGee. There was even like a rhyme: Maniac, Maniac, he's so cool. Maniac, Maniac, go to school. Anyways, but the whole point of this show was that this little boy who grew up in like a not so good home and environment, neighborhood, whatever, basically he kind of like rose to be super popular and super like cool and super like awesome because he had this cool ability. He was able to untie knots. It doesn't matter how big the knot was, how entangled something was, how many knots there were. He was able to untie any knot, and people would come to him with their shoes, with their lights, just like anything, and he would untangle it. And then he became really known and very, really popular for the simple fact that he was able to untie all of these knots. Hold on one second. Okay, so I literally just did some quick research. So the book, first of all, let me tell you this. The book is by Jerry Spinelli. And Maniac, so I would type in Maniac McGee typing knots, and you're going to get something that says, what does the knot symbolize in Maniac McGee? Knots symbolize problems that appear unsolvable on the surface, but that in careful, deft hands, can be gradually unraveled. Maniac McGee is gifted at untying knots. So this is what the whole thing is about. Whether or not, like, collective, you have been untying all of these knots that have kept you stuck and bound within yourself, within your environment, within your life. And this person, they have all these knots within them. And a lot of it has to do because they have father issues. Despite you having your own father issues as well, you were able to untie all those knots, right? But this person is spiritually blocked because you can't flow Yo, all right. Okay, so in Naruto is an anime, right? There's a certain clan in Naruto called the Hyuga clan, and they're able to use their they're able to use their Byakugan to see all the chakra points in the body, right? Um, and the way their ability works, they can. It's called a gentle fist palm, where they can like do like that to their opponent, but without actually physically touching them. But they just send like a gust of wind to block the chakra points, right? So it's essentially like this: this person's chakra flow has been blocked by their own emotional, physical, mental, spiritual traumas, right? But it's not like they're unsavable. It's not like these knots are unsolvable, right? They just have to be really careful at untying these knots. They have to like do the work, go step by step. But they don't want to do that, which is why they're spiritually blocked, which is why they want to hang out with you. And, despite the fact that they don't even like you, it's really too also the fact that it's kind of like I posted something earlier, and it was like a little girl was telling her father. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up right now, and it's on my community board if anybody's interested in checking that like meme out. So the little girl was just like, hold on. She said, "Why does she get one and not me? It's not fair." That's basically this person to this person, but So then the dad says, this is like Lucy Carroll. The dad says, "You're never gonna get the same thing as other people. It's never gonna be equal. It's not gonna happen ever in your life. So you must learn that now, okay? The only time you look in your neighbor's bowl is to make sure they have enough. You don't look in your neighbor's bowl to see if you have as much as them." All right. So this person doesn't really, at some point though, oh shit. I was gonna say at some point though, like I'm not trying to make excuses for them, right? Which is exactly what this other person has been doing for them, making excuses for them. Because at some point you can't make excuses for yourself or you can't make excuses for other people because we're all adults, right? We can all make our own conscious decisions. So at some point they're gonna have to stop making excuses and just, start untying those knots. All right, so with that being said, we're gonna move on. Damn, 42 minutes, not even one tarot card. Ain't that something? I'm gonna get like one more for spiritually blocked. All right, okay. Lied about a relationship. So this person could have lied to you about a relationship, or they're just lying in general about a relationship, whether they were in a relationship, whether they were involved in a relationship, whether they actually care about the relationship. I feel like they were lying to the collective the entire time about a relationship. Like, for example, like they were making it seem like they actually cared about you and were your friends and all this other stuff, but they really did not like the collective. They really, they just didn't care. They just wanted to also know how to get out the window, right? I feel like once you realize that, you're like, yo, get out my dream. You're like, why are you even here? Yeah, I'm not pulling that. All right, so moving on. Finally, right? Damn, this is longer than I expected it to be, but whatever. I still have time. So it's Saturday, so I'm just like enjoying the morning because everybody's still sleeping. I know it's like late, but I get to have a little bit of me time before my family wakes up. And then I'm like in mom, fiance mode. All right, so I'm going to get one for spiritually fertile. By the way, this father childhood drama tying knots energy, it's kind of like, I'm getting dizzy. It's kind of like, how when you see a fungus and they start growing and all their veins grow in all different directions? It's kind of like that. This was like a fungus in everybody's lives on this board. All right, this was a fungus in everybody's lives, right? They're all connected back to their own childhood traumas. That I just had to say that. That was it. Right? Like the common denominator, that was it. That was just the message for that. Because I just saw it in my head, so I was like, I gotta say it now. Oh shit, rebirth on the bottom of the deck. Rebirth. Yeah. Collective, you guys are going through a major ass rebirth because you untied those knots. This person, there's nothing building around them. Rebirth. There's death and all that awakens, for it isn't blissful nor painless. It's a mighty rising, O flame resurrected. Yeah. I just heard whoosh. You know when something gets lit on fire, like when you're cooking at a grill and then like you throw like fire lighter fluid on the fire and then you hear that sound that goes whoosh. I just heard that in my head. In my mind and in my head. What is that, Chesto? Yeah, that's Chesto. Oh, wow. That's cool. Alright, so we have Greet the Darkness and Wolf. I just heard a wolf howling. Greet the darkness. Here where the spine bends and the mouth quivers, breathes the hidden, the pieces that make you whole but cut deep with all of their sharp edges. In a sense, you have become one with even your darkest self, right? As you should. You cannot be all love and light because there's no balance in that. That's why as above, so below. There's got to be an opposite. It's always got to be like that. You know what's interesting? I just heard Nemesis. You know how, like in every cartoon character or every like cartoon or movie or whatever the case may be, there's like the hero, the collective, and then there's always like that villain, the stranger Carmen. But it's always like my evil nemesis, right? So this person would always be your nemesis. They will always be your nemesis. It's kind of like like you're Perry the Platypus, and then this one is Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Like this person really wants to harm you, but they can never really harm you. And they'll have all these gadgets, all these plans, all these blueprints, all these, maniacal whatever, right? But Perry the Platypus always evades him. Always. And it's so funny because Dr. Doofenshmirtz doesn't even know Perry the Platypus's real identity. So this person doesn't even know who you really are either. We have Wolf. Devour the ferocious calling within the howling of your spirit. Run wildly into the freedom of your knowing. Yeah, so I feel like for you, collective, once you realize how to untie these knots, because you yourself are holding yourself back as well, but once you realize how to untie these knots, once you untied those knots, you became unbound, but at the same time balanced. All right? You were able to merge with your light and dark, but in a respectful way, in a very balanced, equal give and take way within yourself. And that's allowing you to break free from this taboo scarcity. Like, oh, the darkness, right? But like I said, everybody has to have an equal amount of light and dark. You can't be too much light or too much darkness, all right? That's not balanced enough. So I feel like once you realize that, you're just like living your life like it's golden. You're so free. You're so balanced. You're so in touch. You untied these knots, all right? And you're still untying knots because I don't feel like the healing journey is ever really done. Right? It's a constant thing. Like, yeah, you may have healed from your childhood traumas, but healing is also an active, constant choice. And you're constantly doing that. So I feel like you're just free within your own power, within your reins, and you're just like tapping in. That's awesome. And because you're tapping in, because you're able to understand this power within you and you have a balance within you, you're like, oh, you don't like me? Okay, bye. Get out my dream. You don't like me? Bye. Like, oh, you can't, you don't want to listen to my boundaries? All right, bye. Oh, I have a boundary for you. I'm setting that up right now. Bye. It's like that. So you're more comfortable standing up for your boundaries and yourself. Damn. Because of how long this is, I might not even post until Monday, which is like one day of not posting really, because Sunday. But it's 11:12 right now. All right. Spiritually blocked. Lied about a relationship. Oh, this is all done. Right. This is all done. Oh, one other thing I wanted to say about Maniac McGee is that he was a runner. He runs fast. Like he was also known for being able to run fast and for run for long periods of time. If I remember correctly. The reason yeah, this person just runs. They're just running. They're running from themselves, they're running from their life. They're just a big fat runner. No pun intended, because of the dream was like, you know, a heavy set person, but we have graveyard. Wow. And graveyard fell on top of childhood traumas, Taurus, Earth, and TK. There is a song that bellows in the peace of knowing no end and acknowledging the crossroads of eternity. There is a song that bellows in the peace of knowing no end. This person's running, trying to find some sort of ending, and they're not going to get it because it's kind of like, I don't know what you believe in, but when people be like, oh, well, I'll get out of this debt when I die. Come to find out, your debt had transferred onto your children, right? This person is looking for some sort of ending that's not really going to happen for them because they're constantly running from the childhood traumas. So until they figure this out, then they'll be able to kind of like be like, oh, okay, I can just keep going now. I don't have to be worried about an ending. Hold on. All right, I'm back. So at this point, by the way, I should say that if this cuts off for whatever reason, I'm just going to upload it like that, okay? So in the meantime, let me just keep going. So yeah, childhood traumas, graveyard, and acknowledging the crossroads of eternity. Yeah, this person's gonna be basically stuck like this for the end of time until they start untying those knots. All right. But you know, whether or not they want to do that or they're gonna do that, that's entirely up to them. I try not to read into people's choices. I can only tell you why people made certain choices. Right? But I try to really not, I don't know, predict what their choice is going to be, because you just never really know. Right? Because at the end of the day, it's a choice. Anybody can make a choice that'll change their life. Right? It takes like a split decision to make a life-changing decision. As to why certain people make certain decisions, you know, that's just psychology, really. All right. You know what? I made a video recently about a person who was being haunted by what belongs to them. So if you want to check that video out, definitely check it out. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because that girl is the same girl as this girl. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because we have ritual and reverse. Can you feel them? Wild creatures linked by the very blood you spill into your craft. A ritual of dedication to self and those whose gazes hold fire but whose whispers carry you softly through the unknown. She's definitely being haunted by herself. Things that originally belonged to her, like childhood traumas, fears, anxiety, angst, depression, all that stuff. For some of you, this could be actual things, but this person's just being haunted by their own self. But they try to make it seem like you were the one that was being haunted. You were the one that was in distress and depressed and having anxiety and anxious and all that shit, right? But it's actually this person. Because how are you this person? How are you stuck in a graveyard of dead things when you're spiritually fertile and lucky and you're balanced out? Right? You're walking in your power. How is that even possible? So I think now what I'm going to do is pull one of these. I'm going to pull this for the... I know I said this was done because it is, but... Wow, yeah. Community and territory. Because you, collective, are tying your knots, or I feel like this person, they're just tying more knots into their life, into like their destiny, their lineage, they're just tying more knots. That's why I keep saying that. They're just tying more and more knots because they're just stuck in their childhood traumas. This person, aside from that, you, because you're untying your knots, you are having a strong sense of community and you're protecting your community, your territory. This could be your family, your friends, your job, yourself. Like, you're literally walking into your power and you're so confident that you're able to be like, well, if you don't like me, then don't be here. Bye. Like, I'm kicking you out. That's pretty much that. You have a strong sense of community now and you're protecting your territory. And you know what that is. You know what you should be protecting now. You know what, your sense of community is, where it lies. You're not sleeping anymore either. Because maybe before you would have been like, oh, you don't like me, that's okay. Maybe you'll end up liking me. Or, it's okay. Maybe I can, find a way to get you to like me. Maybe you were like that before, but now you're just like, oh, you don't like me? Say less. Bye. That's it. Get out. You're no longer like asleep. Like, you can actually see who likes you and who doesn't like you. Who's just hanging out with you, who's just trying to get something from you, who's just trying to tolerate you, who's just like putting up with you, like all that stuff. Like, you can actually see it to the point where you're just like, oh, okay, say less, bye, that's it. All right, so, and that's because you healed from your childhood trauma. So you know, like, what is legit and what isn't legit, what can stay and what doesn't have to stay. Like, once you healed what you had to heal, you understand now what's healthy and what's not healthy. You're no longer sleeping to like that phrase, but we're blood, we're family. Like, just because we're family or just because we're blood, that doesn't mean we have to, communicate or have a relationship or, intertwine. Like, you actually have a sense of what a healthy family is. Like, you can see that. You're no longer under the guise of just like, oh, but we're family. We're family. finally get into some tarot. Holy shit, I'm still going. All right. You have the Chariot reverse and the Knight of Swords reverse. This is awesome because I feel like you stopped being in this self-destructive behavior. Once you healed what you had to heal, you're like, holy shit, what I'm doing is not good for me. So let me just back it up and, take a good look at what I'm doing and why I'm doing this, or, just, kind of reevaluate what's going on. So yeah, Chariot reverse, Knight of Swords reverse. Hold on. All right, I'm back. So yeah, you doing all of this self-reflection, balancing out your light and darkness within you, and then finally walking into your power and realizing what a healthy relationship is, whether it be within a work dynamic, within family, within friends. Once you realize what was healthy and how to protect not just like your environment but yourself, like your body, your home, you realize that. So you stopped being self-destructive, which is awesome. That's great. What is that, chips? Yeah, I have chips in my chin. I was eating some chips. So anyways, moving on. So overall, collective, I'm really proud of you. Congratulations. Okay, congratulations. Good job. You could be a Cancer or a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Take it how it resonates, really. Or you're just in this energy of like, stopping with the fuck shit. Let's see what comes out. The moon. We have the moon. We have the moon. No. It's like, let me stop. My kid's been watching a lot of Miss Rachel recently. So I hear her voice in my head. It's so funny. So we have the moon. This person, they're keeping a lot of secrets. The secret is that they are spiritually blocked. And the secret is that they have been lying about a relationship. All right? They're lying about something. That's the secret. Either they're lying about being in a relationship with you, or being in a relationship that they shouldn't be with, or lying about your relationships, multiple, in your life. Either way, though, this person is just tying more and more knots on their side. You know what, too? We have two wolves howling in the moon. And you're using your intuition. This person is walking away from their intuition. Like, you're actually being guided by your intuition. I feel like everybody's doing things in the dark. Like, you could be praying at night, and then this person's like, I feel like they're also praying at night, but for like the wrong things. Like, if they're praying, it's for like health, wealth, and fame. And you're praying for, your home. I feel like this person, they like to lie about things because I don't know, there's something about like them having, like, they like to have a following. They like it when people follow them. You see all those little oysters following the carpenter and the walrus? So the carpenter, if I remember correctly in the story, he told a really big tale that ended in the demise of all the oysters. Yeah. The carpenter and the walrus. That's a story in one of the old versions of Alice in Wonderland. Hold on. Wow. Okay. Yeah. It was about. Hold on. All right. So here's the thing, right? I literally had to look up the story of the walrus and the carpenter. So going back to this lying about a relationship, all right? They're hiding a secret about lying about some sort of relationship, all right? And the reason why they're lying about this relationship, literally just because they can. Whether it's a relationship with you, a relationship in their life, a relationship with another person that that they're secretly having, that could be what they're doing in the dark, secretly being around someone that they kind of really shouldn't be around with, or just because they can. So, the carpenter and the walrus meaning, if you just look it up, whoa. The story of the walrus and the carpenter is, in one sense, the story of encroachment and entitlement. The sun upon the moon's territory or time, the walrus and the carpenters upon the oysters, which they presume to eat because they can. Yeah. Um, the walrus and the carpenter in the story, if I remember correctly, they were very kind and generous people, right? They were really sweet and kind, and um, it was just an act, a facade, right? Because what they really had were nefarious intentions. Their intentions were hitting in the dark. And what they really wanted was to, you see how, like I said, all these oysters are following them? The whole point of them to have all of these oysters follow them was just so that way they can make them a nice home and dress them up and put a little salt, a little lemon juice, a little butter, just so that they can eat the oysters. So this person is doing things just because they can, because they want to do it. Like, this person wants to hang around with you. They're spiritually blocked. They have something that you want, right? They want to eat your oysters, or they want to relish in your blessings. I feel like they were lying about their relationship that they were having with you. Also, that way they can um, basically be around your fertile abundance. And it's crazy because meanwhile they're trying to be around you for your fertile abundance, their secret intentions were to just take it, like the carpenter and the walrus. They were secretly trying to eat the oysters. And you know what's crazy? They ate the oysters. They actually ate the oysters. They ate the oysters, and they didn't even feel bad about it either. They were like happy and living like fat, happy cats, because they were like the best delicious oysters ever. But for some reason, because like in my dream, I'm like, yo, you don't like me? Get out. Bye. You drew a boundary to this person. So they can't eat your oysters. They can't take your blessings. They can't eat your blessings. This is way longer than I expected, but it is what it is. Oh, fuck. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. There's a lobster here as well. Right? This person just wants to latch onto your. When a lobster pinches, it has a tight, tight grip. They can't let go, no matter how much you shake, right? That's what they want to do. They just want to pinch onto your blessings and not let go. In the moonlight, on the moonlight, we gather together. This person is hanging out with somebody they should not be hanging out with in the moonlight at night. This could be an ex of yours or somebody that you know. Four of Swords. Yeah. But that was like, it literally like flew, right in the middle of the Chariot reversed and the Knight of Swords reversed. Yeah, you're not really doing anything. You're kind of just staying put and healing. You're relaxing, healing, resting, working on yourself. No longer being destructively impulsive. In the moonlight, in the moonlight. So here you are, you're actually like sleeping through the night, and this person is like walking around at night, hanging out, doing shit. All right. The Hierophant. So we have a faithless energy. This person could be single too. They're single, lying about relationships. It's kind of like they get into relationships that are not really relationships; they're more like situationships. Um, like I have a girlfriend, but I don't talk about her. Or I don't post her. Like we're together, but we're not together. Or like I have a boyfriend, but we're together, but we're not together. Like I'm single, but I'm not single. Right? Like they don't even know like if they're in a relationship or not. It's more like a situationship, entanglements, flings, um, meetups, hookups, one night stands. Um, I just heard the saddest thing. They're not being claimed. They're not being claimed. Whoever they're messing around with, they're actually single. Like whoever they're not. They just people don't claim them. When they get in a relationship with someone, they don't get claimed. Like it's one sided for them. So they just lie about their relationship. Oh yeah, so and so is my girlfriend, or so and so is my boyfriend. But come to find out, like what? No, we just hooked up the one time, or we're just hooking up. We're not even like like they don't ever get claimed, which is really sad. Um, but also they allow it to happen because of their childhood issues and the way they see themselves and yada 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 yada. You on the other hand, you are in a relationship, whether this be with somebody else, like another human, or in a relationship with the divine. You're definitely following your spiritual path because how else would you be spiritually fertile? You're healing, you're in touch with your power, you're balanced out within your light and darkness, right? Everything within you is in aligning. You are in a relationship. Whether, like I said, it's a human or, with a divine. You're getting guidance from the divine. Or from a person that you're in a relationship with. But either way, you're definitely in some sort of union and this person's not. All right, I'm gonna pull like two more cards and then I'm gonna call it. It's already getting long, and I wanna get some stuff done. I'm laughing because like I'm trying to put cards and all I can think about is like eating noodles. Like I just want to eat some noodles and it's like I have to concentrate so I can pull what I need to pull. But it's like I'm taking over now. Knight of Cups reverse and Judgment. You decided that you are no longer going to feed into your childhood traumas. You decided that I'm not doing this anymore. Like I don't have to put energy into where I don't need to put energy into. And not only that, but you also decided to stop pouring into this person's cup, whether this have been a friend, an ex-lover, a coworker, an environment. For some of you, this could have been a place where you just have bad memories. But you decided to stop putting your time, your energy in. Hold on. You just decided to stop pouring into things that no longer serve you, right? You was just like, holy shit, I'm done. You don't like me, get out. You don't want to be my friend, so then stop. You don't want me to work here, I quit, right? Like you're just done. You're just done. Pouring into energies that it's not for you. You're done being impulsive. You're done being destructive. Like you're just healing and balanced out. So this is awesome. I gotta cut it here, unfortunately, right? Because I gotta do my daily duties now. So I can't go no further, unfortunately. I'm sorry. But for the most part, this was pretty fun. And I'll try to do more. I don't know, another reading or something like that. I actually, you know what? Too, I'm gonna do a live. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a live. So, I don't know. I guess stay tuned for that. What else do I need to say? Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else because I just want to eat noodles now. All right, so I hope this helps. I hope you get something from it, and if anybody needs a personal reading, let me know. Bye.